Hey everybody, this is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live, and today is Monday, July 6th, 2020. We're in the first day of the new trading week, and we are in the last hour of the trading day. As I mention each day, my preferred time to make the majority of my buying and selling decisions for my swing trades are at the end of the day before the market closes. At the end of the day, you have the large financial institutions coming in. They take control away at the end of the day from the day traders and the algorithms who control it during the day. So that is why I prefer to follow what I consider what the smart money is. So anyway, thank you all for coming today. I appreciate it. I hope you had a nice long weekend, had a fun 4th of July. It was fun and safe and all that kind of stuff. And let's take a look here. Quad Racer is here. Hey, good to see you, Quad. Good afternoon, Greg and all. Hello, good to see you, Quad, as always. Evan is here. Hey, Evan, nice to see you, my friend. Hope you had a good weekend. Steve Burns. Hey, buddy, how you doing, sir? Steve says, hello, everyone. I hope you had a great 3-day weekend. Thank you, Steve. I hope you and Holly and the dogs did as well. I always appreciate you being here, Steve. Always an honor and a privilege to have you here. It really is. Kamal is here. Hey, buddy. Good to see you. Kamal and I chat during the day about intraday trades and so forth and so on. So I always appreciate that. Appreciate Kamal's friendship. Dan, salutations. Hey, there you go. Nice to see you. I haven't seen that word for a while. Great. Thank you, Dan. Salutations to back. Kamal says, I missed my 11:30 scan with this house remodel. I sent you the file on Skype. Okay, I just definitely saw that a minute ago. Kamal's in the middle of a house remod. David is here. Hey, David. Good to see you. Thank you for being with me on our lesson on Friday. I hope that you learned something, and it's really been nice to work with David. Very, very smart person. Dan says, what a nice 4th of July gift from you. Great training surprise from you. Yeah, so I did a video over the weekend on YouTube. I put it in my lessons playlist on YouTube, and it is about fractals. It's about trading fractals and how to trade fractals using the alligator indicator. And fractals were developed by Dr. Mandelbrot. He was a mathematician for IBM, and then Dr. Bill Williams, who's a physicist, he put together the alligator indicator, and I had a fantastic trade today, intraday, using fractals. I said, I better look for a fractal trade to show the group, and oh man, did it pay off. So anyway, you know what, here, while I'm here, in case you are interested in watching the video on fractals that I made, I'm posting the link right there. Frank says, hello, Greg and all. Great piece on fractals. Thank you, Frank. Well, you mentioned the other day maybe I should do another educational video, and so that's what I did for Frank. So I hope you enjoyed it, Frank, and I'll tell you, it was a win-win because, like I said, I had a monster trade on Boeing today with fractals. I'm going to show it to you. Hey, Glenn, good to see you, my friend. Glenn has some awesome trades rocking today, as always, for Glenn. We'll go over those. Kevin Frost, hey, good to see you, Kevin. Appreciate you being here. And I did get your message. I emailed you back. And Miko25 is here. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well, sir. Hope everything's going well. So, all right, real quick, here's what we're going to do. The plan for today. First, we're going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. Secondly, we're going to come back, take a look at my current positions, talk about when I bought them, why I bought them, how I'm going to manage them moving forward. Then I had some day trades today that I'm going to be sharing with you as well. After that, some of you have been kind enough to share your trades with me on the board. We're going to go through those, take a look and see how they're doing. I see the few of them are doing really well. After that, going to do a few minutes on trader psychology. In my opinion, the most important component of trading success is your mental state, dealing with fear and greed, following your plan. So I do like to talk about that every day, a little trading philosophy. Do I have a jet coming over my house? And then after that, I have gone down through my watch list and I have identified some potential entries for today. Kamal was kind enough to send me the scan. Of course, his scan adds up all the confluences and combination of indicators. It's just a great piece of work that he's done, and so I appreciate that he sends me that every day, and we'll go through those as well. Remember, before I take a trade at the end of the day, I have 3 requirements. 1, confluence or combination of signals lining up. Number 2, want to have a good risk to reward ratio, at least 2 to 1. Number 3, want to always make sure I am aware of how many positions I have, how correlated the positions that I have, and how much account heat I actually have at risk, meaning how much of my total capital do I actually have at risk. So I have some candidates. I'm going to go through those, take a look at those. And if I can find one at the end of the day that meets all my criteria, it looks good, it's not overbought, I'll go ahead and place that trade at the end of the day. But we'll see what happens at the end of the day, right? Anything could happen. Anyway, if you could, and then after the market closes, if anybody has any questions, please let me know. I'm happy to answer them. If you want me to look at any stock symbols, please let me know. I'm happy to give you my humble opinion on them. If you have any stock symbols that you'd like my opinion on before the market closes, please put them in the chat, but please put an asterisk by it or emoji so I know it's time sensitive. And then lastly, after the market closes, if anybody has any changes, any additions or subtractions to their positions up on the board, if you could wait till the end of the day so I'm not up against the clock, then I can make sure I can do them correctly and accurately. Okay, that's the plan. Hold tight. They're going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. Thanks. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much. Okay. Let me take a look here at Kamal's scanner. Oh, okay. All right, so I got that handy. Having a fantastic day today, my gosh. You know, I guess it's kind of like fishing. You put your pole in every once in a while, you don't get anything. Every once in a while, you get a whopper. And I have had some wonderful trades today. I am so grateful for that. And I hope you have as well. The Dow's up 360 points right now, up 1.41%. The Nas is up 176, up 1.72%. The S&P is up 37.56%. So green all around. All right. Hey, Bob, good to see you. Appreciate you coming here. Hope you're having a good day. Glenn says big pop and drop on the stocks, SQ, TLO, TDD, ZM, document crowd. Yeah. Well, we have had some of that, haven't we? For sure. Frank. Oh, this is a 2 blocker. I better wait till the second block's up before I read it. All right. While I wait for that, let's take a look at current positions. Well, glad to see that Frank and Quad Racer and Karen and Steve and Pincy and Company and myself were in Alibaba. What a fantastic trade. On Thursday, Alibaba had a 520 crossover, which is a good back-tested approach. I bought it here at 223.93. It gapped way up today. All 3 of my profit targets got filled at the gap. So positive slippage, and then I added on 2 more profit targets here as well. It is up 6.32%. It got very close to the 70 RSI today, and at the very least, I'm going to take off half, and at the very worst, I'm just going to lock it in because it's such a huge move. Looks like it pegged the second ATR. You got the second ATR channel and the 70 RSI right there. I'm going to have to make a decision, but I can tell you one thing. At the very least, I am going to get rid of half, and then I would trail the second half with a close below the previous day's low. But I'll have to make a decision. But congratulations there for all of us. Merck. I did buy Merck back here on July 1st. We had a MACD crossover. We closed above the 50 RSI. We closed above the 50-day moving average. But one of the main reasons I took this is because we triggered this fractal over here. Fractal's a high with two lower highs to the left, 2 lower highs to the right. Bought it here 78.21. Hit one profit target on Thursday. Hit another profit target here today at 79.66. So this one's doing well. SPY. All right. Well, world famous SPY trade. Sorry for repeating myself every day, but in case we have some new viewers, I do want them to understand why I use this each day. This is from Lizanne Saunders at Bespoke Invest. I do buy the SPY at the close of the day, right before the close. Hold it overnight, take the overnight risk. I sell it first thing the next morning. Why would I do such a thing? Well, it comes down to the results of the back test done by Lizanne Saunders. Back test number 1, buy the SPY at the open, hold through the day, sell at the close. If you did this every day since 1993, to actually return a negative 13.9%. However, if you did the opposite, which is what I do, buy the SPY at the close, hold it overnight, take the overnight risk, that's where I feel like the edge is in this system. Sell first thing the next morning, positive 634.2% return. So you can see that all of the gains in the S&P 500 have come from overnight. All through the years, it's come from the overnight, holding it overnight. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. This may never work another day in history, but if I'm going to allocate money towards something, and it's going to be something that has good back-tested results. And over time, all this has done has gone up. There's drawdowns, multi-year drawdowns, so it's not all fun and games and rainbows and butterflies. Trust me. 2019 was fantastic using this approach. 2020 was horrific at the start of the year, but a massive comeback here. Still negative on the year with this approach, but chopping away at that loss for the year pretty successfully. But net, since I've been using it, is definitely a winning proposition. So I did buy SPY on Thursday at the close at 312.23. And I sold it this morning at 316.18. Wow. So really nice day here today. I will be buying this again today at the close. USO. I did buy USO on the weekly chart. So this one's going to take a minute. I did buy USO on the weekly at 28.25, under 30, over 30, and a V1. Bought it at 28.25. Right now it's at 28.98. So up since I've bought it, not a big move or anything like that, but it is positive. My stop's going to be a close below this previous, below halfway of the washout bar on the V1. So anyway, so far it's doing well. So happy with that. And then gold. I bought gold back here on June 10th. I bought it here with the 520 EMA crossover. I bought half of my position here. I waited for a pullback, which I got, added my other position here, got in at 162.78 with the 520 cross. It's been moving up. I phased, had a little sidewards motion, had a couple more up days, did phase there, and did hit another profit target today at 167.81. You know, it's pretty extended in the trade at this point. Oh, I did take off half here. No, it's a quarter. It's a quarter, right? Yeah, I took a quarter off here when it rejected the third ATR channel. That was a bit of a red flag, but being that it's pretty extended from my entry, you know, close below the previous day's low or like loss of the 5-day or the 10-day, that would be my reason to get out. All right, before we get to my day trades, let me take a look at Frank's poem. All right. Look past the indicators, movers and shakers, to see how traders become money makers. Behind the tape forms a trader fate. Hard work, attitude, patience, and fortitude make a trader stand out from the multitude. Wow, that's good. Let me read it one more time, Frank. Look past the indicators, movers and shakers, to see how traders become money makers. Behind the tape forms a trader's fate. Hard work, attitude, patience, and fortitude make a trader stand out from the multitude. Wow, so good. As always, Frank, thank you, sir. I always appreciate the effort. Just fantastic. I never cease to be amazed with these poems. One, because you can get them to rhyme, and two, because they're just so relevant to trading. Very lucky to have you in this group, Frank. Thank you so much. Okay, what's happening? Let's get to day trades. Here we go. Had a little day trade on Apple, 5-minute. Back here, you know what my favorite setup is when we have a V1 or V2. It's a false breakout to the downside. Bought it here at 373.73 with this V2 and the false breakout from this previous range. Immediately went my way. Nice, 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 nice. But then I had this bar close below the previous day's low. So I did get in at 373.73 and I got out at 374.28. So not too shabby. Qs. I did take a trade here, and David, if you're listening, the reason I took this trade was, you know, David and I were having a lesson on Friday, and we were talking about buying the Qs with an under 30, over 30, and how it looks kind of scary sometimes. And when we were doing our simulation, we did not buy it. Well, here we go. We went under 30, over 30 on this 5-minute bar. I decided to go ahead and take it 256.82, and it immediately went against me. I was like, dang it. And then it closed higher. And then it had this nice bullish engulfing V1. I was pretty sure at that point it would move my way, and it did. Up, 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 up. This bar here went above the 50 RSI and then closed below. So I got in at 256.82 and I got out at 257.48. Not too bad, right? And then lastly, on the fractal chart, this chart's going to look a little different to everybody because it's just a plain fractal chart. Now, I'm not going to spend a lot of time explaining fractals right now, but if you watch the video link that I have there, that video I just did, that will definitely explain it. Let's take a look here. All right, here we have a high with two lower highs to the left, two lower highs to the right. I bought it here when we took out this fractal. I bought it here at 182.98. And then it moved up, moved up, moved up, moved up, moved up, but then it closed under the red line. The red line is the alligator's teeth. Yeah, the red line's the teeth. So I bought it here, 182.98, and then it closed below the red line. I had a small loss, 182.85. Then here's another fractal. Here we have a high with two lower highs to the left, two lower highs to the right. I went again and took it at 183.49. And look at this, everybody. Boom, 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 boom. I got out on this bar because we had a wick here at the top. There was tons of volume. It was up near the 6 ATR channel. So I got in at 183.49. I got out at 187.96. Unbelievable. Now listen, fractals do not always work this way. I don't know what happened. Maybe there was news, but I don't care because it was a great trade. But again, here we have a high. Two lower highs to the left, two lower highs to the right. Took the fractal here at 183.49 and it just zoomed up. I got out of it here 187.96 and that was fantastic. And then I thought, boy, I nailed it, which I kind of did. You know, then it came down, but now it's making another run. So anyway, appreciate Frank asking me to do a video, because that is the reason that I did a video, and then that is the reason why I took this trade. So all in all, really good trades. Everything has been positive today except for that one small little fractal loss. So anyway, let's take a look over here. Quad says, thoughts on GS today? Yeah, you know, Quad, GS is probably my top pick today, as a matter of fact, and I'll go through those in just a minute when we go through the candidates. But it is definitely possible 520 cross today. Also, the close over the 200. Glenn says, views on IIPR. Well, you know, Glenn, for the way I trade, I don't really see anything here. I mean, it's range bound. We rejected the 1 ATR channel pretty significantly. I don't see any new crossovers. Well, there's a 510 crossover here, but generally those don't backtest very well. Let's look at the weekly. Weekly's above the 1 ATR channel. I like the weekly better than the daily, because we're having an issue with this 1 ATR channel. So I personally, it's the way I trade. You know, there may be a different way you trade or a different way you look at things, but here I really don't see too much. Hey Marco, good to see you, buddy. Nice having you here. Hope you're having a nice evening in Slovenia, my friend. Steve Burns says, my BABA trade is up 6.25% today from entry. I know, isn't that amazing? I noted that here. Frank and Quad and Karen and Steve and Pincy and myself. Like I said, I am at the very least going to take half of this off on such a big move up. And we do have quite a lot of wick at the top of this bar here. And we got very close to the 70 RSI. So at the very least, I'm going to take half off, if not all of it. Gary is here, sorry. Steve Burns says, alternate Tesla trade. BLNK. Wow. That's a monster. It's up 40% today. Holy smokes. Are they a supplier or something for Tesla? Gary M. Hey, buddy. Good to see you. Hi, Greg and all. Good to see you, Gary. Frank says, I love this quote from Albert Einstein that could apply to trading. The important thing is to not stop questioning. Yes. Very, very good. Absolutely correct. Steve says, I have the same experience, Greg. My best trading comes after writing books and creating e-courses. Oh, interesting. Yeah, after making that video, I said, well, I better look for a fractal so I can try to show a real life example of that. Isn't that something? Steve says, I'll be locking in BABA profits today near the 70 RSI. Okay, well, good. I'm glad we're on the same page there, Steve, because that was my first thought too. Steve says, Blink creates the charging stations. Oh, interesting. Interesting. All right, well, done with my trades. Let's take a look at everybody else's trades. Frank did buy Datadog back here, 84.90 on June 19th. It's moved up nicely for him initially, had a bit of a pullback, but resumed the rally, was up earlier today, and looks like we have a V1 to the downside, possible bullish engulfing bar. So down a little bit, but still nicely up on the trade. I love this dog and cat. I don't know why it's so funny to me. Pincy had a nice trade on Caterpillar, bought it here at 124.80 at June 25th. Initially went down, but it's just motored on up ever since. Is off of its high. Looks like it's holding the 200, which is a good thing to see that the 200 is holding. So up nicely there. Snap. Man, this has been a monster trade for Frank. Look at this beautiful trade. Bought this back here on $5.29, $18.75. This thing has just motored off of its high today, but still up 1%, and it looks like so far up 20% on this trade. Congratulations, Frank. CRM, Glenn, beautiful trade on CRM, 185.11 back on the 18th of June. Initially moved up nicely. Did come back with that market pullback that we had, but it just rallied. Looks like it's at the third ATR channel, which is generally a little bit of a danger zone for me because 92% of prices fail at the third ATR channel, just like they did here. I don't think it rejected the 70 RSI. Let's take a little look-see. No, did not reject it yet. So congratulations. Beyond Meat, Frank bought Beyond Meat back here on the 29th at 127.08. Immediately went up. Had that big gap up reversal, but it is up 1.32% today, so very nice. Glenn with another beautiful trade here on Dexcom. 375.16 back on the 15th, moved up nicely, had that pullback with the rest of the market, and nice big day today. It looks like it broke out of, made a high up 3.84%. Frank did buy TLT. Bunch of us bought TLT back here on the 5th of June. We went under 30, over 30. We rejected the 6 ATR channel, bought it here at 156.10. I did anyway. Moved up nicely. I got out here with the close below. Since then, it's kind of just been moving sideways, a little bit down today, but Frank's still up nicely on the trade. Now we have Evan. Evan bought Craft Brew at 15.39 back on the 29th of June. Moved sideways for a couple days. Had a huge day up Thursday. Down a little bit today, but still profitable on the trade. Glenn's had a beautiful short on Norwegian Cruise Lines back here on the 19th at 19.43. All it did was move down. Did find some support down here. Was down earlier today, up a little bit today, but still beautiful trade. UAA, Kamal bought UAA back on the 29th of June at 983. It's pretty much just gone sideward since then. It's at 985, so technically it's a winner. SPY, Frank did buy SPY back here at 302.52. Looks like this bounce off the 200-day and a V1. I don't know if he noticed that, but bought it here at 302.52. It's at 316.23. Beautiful trade, Frank. And then lastly, NEM. Glenn bought NEM at 58.10 back on the 26th of June. Which it's Newmont Mining. It's a gold mining company. Just move up nicely. Had kind of this big bar here. We've pretty much moved sideways ever since then. It is down a little. So I don't see one losing trade on here, which is exactly what I want to see. You know, let's get rid of those losers quick and let our winners run. Look at some of these runners like Snap, 20%, Dexcom for Glenn. I mean, just fantastic. The short on Norwegian Cruise Lines. This doesn't look like a lot, but percentage-wise, this is 16.65%. I would say that's pretty good. Okay. Well, listen, before we get on to the end of day candidates, I do like to spend a few minutes, like to, outside of technicals, entries, exits, positions. I do like to talk about kind of the bigger picture of trading, the psychological point, the philosophical points of trading. And there are some really good Twitter channels out there, Facebook channels out there that post really good information, good trading words of wisdom for us to read, and it's free, and they are really, really helpful if you will just read them, try to understand them, try to internalize them. This is from our good friend Stephen Burns at the New Traders, Rich Traders page on Facebook, and you've heard me talk a lot about that. I really do like this this channel. It's a serious channel. It has some really good people in there. And so if you're on Facebook and you haven't been over to New Traders, Rich Traders, please come on over and say hi. So anyway, this is pretty simple. It's a graph. It's an XY graph. Ego, years spent trading. Well, you probably know what I'm going to say. The longer you trade, the more experience you have, the more the more you've been through different types of markets, your ego will go down, 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 down. The more years you spend trading, the lower your ego goes. And I have yet to ever meet anyone. There's an old saying, there's old traders and there's bold traders, but there's not any old, bold traders. If you're in this game enough, you are going to go through drawdowns, you are going to go through bear markets, you are going to go through corrections, you are going to make mistakes. And the more I trade, it's so true, the less of an ego I have. I mean, it's just as simple as that. If you started trading back in March, for instance, that was your first time you were started to trade, I would imagine your ego is pretty big at the moment. You would say, oh, this is pretty easy stuff. My gosh, why work? Right? Well, all those new traders that came in at the bottom, you know how it's going to end up, right? Their egos may be really high. What was the one guy, the Barstool Sports guy, that came out and was doing a lot of day trading? I think he did really, really well, but, his ego was really, really high. I know he did well, which I'm glad that he did that, but he did come out and kind of, say that Warren Buffett was washed up and that he was kind of the new guy of trading, which, I mean, how can you say that about Warren Buffett? I'm sure Warren Buffett's ego is way down here as well. He's been through it all as well. But I guess the takeaway on this is keep your ego in check. If you've had a good run, I'm happy for you, but you have to please understand, not all of it's skill, a lot of it's timing, a lot of it's luck. One of the worst things you can do is have a high ego and have large position sizes. And listen, the market's not always going to go up. I promise you, there's going to be a time where it's going to go down a lot more than you think. And just like when it was going down, I said, well, look, there'll be a time where it goes up more than you think, and here we are. We're in the time where it's going up more than we think. But now, I'm telling you, there is going to be a time where we have a pullback, right? So please keep your ego in check. Try to learn from others. Be humble all the time with your trading. Position size correctly. If you have a good day like I do today, be grateful, happy for it. I am very grateful always when I have a really good day. But I know it doesn't have everything to do with me, and just don't let your ego get too built up, because the market has a strange way of beating your ego up. So be humble and position size correctly, and just be grateful when you have a good day, okay? All right. Now, let me take a look at Kamal's and see if I have a big difference. Do I have DBX? I do. BKJ, I don't think I have that one. BKJ. Nope. BKJ. Oh, I don't have that one, Kamal. Love. Oh, Love's back on there. Okay. Citigroup, I have. Twitter, I have. Pets, I have. DPZ. Do I have DPZ? I do now. GoDaddy. Okay. That's plenty, I think. Steve says, I like how that chart turned out, Greg. Thanks for sharing that one. I made it. Oh, you did make it? Fantastic. Well, it's right on point. It is spot on, isn't it, Steve? When I think back to my younger days of trading, I was young, traded a lot of money, had no idea what I was doing, but that did not stop my ego from being huge. And having my ego being huge is what cut me down to size. I promise you. I'm talking from experience here, everybody. Dave Portney, I think he is just trying to be funny knowing his background with Barstool. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. That's the guy. I will be buying Goldman Sachs is the 520 EMA crossover holds. Yeah, that one has been my favorite one as well so far, has been Goldman Sachs as well. Kamal says, work if it triggers a V2. All right, let's put work on there. Oh, I already have work on there. Never mind. Gary says, BKJ Bancorp of New Jersey, under 30, over 30. Huh, I can't pull that up, Gary. Sorry, I can't. My chart doesn't allow me to pull that one up. All right. Well, listen, let's go down through. Let me take a quick look over at my current positions. Of course, Alibaba, really good day. Looks like Steve's going to close his out. I agree. I mean, look, the 70 RSI right there at the fourth ATR channel. It did hit that, come right back off. Huge gap here, which is always a little concerning for me. I mean, it did break out, which is good, but you know, it didn't have the strength to go over 70, and this was a monster trade, so I am leaning that way as well. Merck's fine. Took the fractal, MACD crossover, under 50, over 50, RSI over the 50 RSI. This hasn't been a big monster mover, but it's been profitable and hit the one profit target there. SPY, of course, going to be buying that at the close. USO up 0.6% today, but again, bought that with the higher low V1 and under 30, over 30 on the weekly. You know, this may be a two-month trade, depending. But it is up, so that's good. Gold, it did hit the profit target there, so that's been fantastic trade also. Apple, oh, that was the day trade, so I don't need that. Q is the day trade, I don't need that. And BA. That was an amazing trade, man. I'll tell you what. I'm very grateful for that trade. I am very, very grateful for that trade. All right. What's happening here? Okay, listen everybody, I've got to move Katie for a second. If you could give me about 25, 30 seconds, I've got to take her out into the other patio. So it's too hot for her where it is. I apologize. Hang tight, please. Okay, here you go. Okay, sorry about that. Sorry. But, I got to look after my old gal, right? Okay. So. Hey, Mohammed. Good to see you, my friend. Nice to have you here, sir. Hello, Greg. Hello, fellow traders. Thank you so much for that really nice email, Mohammed. I really appreciate that. Really made my day. So, anyway, keep up the good work and the study. Mohammed is a very smart man, very scientific in his approach to trading and his back testing that he was sharing with me. So, thank you, sir. And again, thank you for the kind email. Okay. Let's get to it. See what's happening for today. Love. Kamal says love. So what do we have going here? Yes, we have a possible. Let me do the numbers on this one. We have a possible higher low V1. So let me do the numbers real quick. Yeah, I mean, look, we were below the value zone. We're in the value zone. We washed it out. We had a V1. We're over 50. I like it. I like it a lot. Let's take a look at the weekly. I know the weekly is going to look fairly good. Otherwise, it wouldn't come up on Kamal's scanner. This higher low V2 failed last week. We are at 44.66. We're above the 10. MACD is positive. It's fine. It's decent. It's decent. But I do like the sidewards motion here of Southwest and the spike down and reversal. So yes, I do like Southwest quite a bit. Twitter. Well, Twitter is battling here with the 200-day moving average. You see how we've made a lower low and now we've rallied? You see, this is the type of place where, honestly, I feel like it's going to pull back. It doesn't mean it can't close above the 200 to keep going, but generally, the tendency is when you make a lower low, once you catch the low, you'll rally. But the people that bought down here, if I would have bought here, I would be selling today if it closed below the 200. No doubt about it. Right, and I think that would be a lot of other people's thoughts as well. That's why I'd rather take a higher low V1 or V2. So even if this closes above the 200 today, I wouldn't buy it because it comes just from this big V formations. And these big V formations usually don't hold. They usually pull back a little bit, get the higher low V1. So pets, we have a crossover. I tried to do a back test. And ETF replay does not let me do pets, but I do believe that somebody else tried out pets on the back test and it seemed to work pretty well. I don't like this rejection of the one ATR channel, however. That's my only concern. QLQS. Off of its high quite a bit. MACD is positive. Looks like we have a crossover. I'm not sure what this company does. I'm not sure if this back tests well. We did have a fractal. Here's a high with two lower highs to the left, high with two lower highs to the right. So if you were going from fractal mode, that would have triggered on Thursday. Let me take a real quick look at this. Thing with the fractals though, using the alligator, you have the blue, red, and the green. The best times to use these is when the moving averages, all three of these moving averages are intertwined. When they're apart from each other, that means it's trending. It's best to wait for them to move sideways, be intertwined before you take the signal. So, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. But I don't like that we were much higher and we've sold off from that. I think there's better. DBX, that's pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's above 50 RSI. Let's look at the weekly. I don't like this big V1 bar. See, the day one bar, week one bar. And, we're getting close to the halfway of that. So I think I'm going to pass on that one. Citigroup. It's above the 50 RSI. Sideways motion on the weekly. Yeah, I think I'm going to pass on that as well. Intel, higher low V1 here, but we're not above the 50 RSI though. I would much rather have it be above the 50 RSI. You have the 50-day moving average, you have the 20-day moving average above you. That's most likely going to act as quite a bit of resistance. You have this other sidewards range here, so I think I'll just let that one go as well. I do like the higher low V1, but it would be much better if it was over 50 RSI. Okay, Goldman Sachs. So Goldman Sachs has two legitimate back-tested approaches. We have a 520 cross at the moment. The 5 is 200.64. The 20 is 200.47. Let's go ahead and take a look at the back test. This is etfreplay.com. I am using this with permission from etfreplay.com, just so Google just so YouTube knows. We had to close under the 200, close back over the 200. So let's look at the results of that. This is back from 2000, under 200, over 200. The return using the under 200, over 200 is 165.2. Buy and hold is 186.3. The drawdown is negative 58.7. The drawdown on buy and hold, negative 78.8. So, you know, it does backtest well. The max drawdown is better than buy and hold. So now so that's the 200-day. Let's go over to the 520 cross and see how that looks. Pretty good, right? The 520 crossover method returned 531.6% return. Buy and hold was only 177.9. So significantly beat the results of buy and hold. The max drawdown was negative 61 compared to 78.8. So anyway, both of those approaches backtest well, and on the daylight today we have both of them going on. So I do quite like Goldman Sachs here. Oh, by the way, on Alibaba, I forgot to mention, I only took a half position. You remember I said I was waiting for a pullback, maybe to backfill a little bit, but if it did race and take off, I wanted to at least have some. So anyway, it worked out. Obviously, I wish I would have bought the full position, but at least I have half, right? At least I had something. The real question here, though, on this trade is whether or not my initial stop is going to be is the crossover as my entry or the 200-day as my entry. And, you know, you could use either. At this point on this trade, I would probably use the 200. And the reason I say that is it's closer and it dovetails nicely with kind of halfway of this bar. So I do like Goldman Sachs. DPZ had a nice crossover there, 520 crossover. I don't know how Domino's backtest there, but look, we're right over here near the high of this previous high here. We've rejected the 1 ATR channel. Let's look at the weekly. Weekly's okay. Well, I guess I can test it myself, can't I? DPZ. And I guess not. It does not have DPZ. I put that in there right? DPZ, yep, I can't backtest it. AMD, it's okay. Having issues with the 50-day moving average there. I think I like the other ones better. Work. Kamal was talking about work if it closes. Let's see, the close there was 3106, so have to be at least 3106 for that V2 to be valid. But you know what though? How high was this at the high today? 48.88, and it did reject the 50-day moving average. So I don't think I would take that one because it rejected the 50-day moving average. GoDaddy looks like it's breaking to the downside. Might revisit that if it goes under 30, over 30. McDonald's. V2 today above the 50 RSI. It's a higher low V2. Here's bar 1, bar 2, bar 3. Bar 2 washes out bar 1. This definitely is closing above bar 1's close. Stop would be, you know, halfway here, the washout bar. Probably have to contend here with the 200-day moving average. Let's look at the weekly. Weekly looks fine. It's above the 50 RSI. MACD's positive. I think it got an upgrade today. All right, I'll bite on that one as a potential. PayPal. Well, look, we have a bullish engulfing bar to the downside. We have a V1 to the downside. We rejected the third ATR channel, and we lost the 70 RSI. And we're very close to losing the support of this previous high, which would make it a false breakout to the downside. I am considering shorting this one. I tried shorting this one a while ago, and it did not work out well, but see how we go high, high, higher, higher. Look at the RSI. High, little higher, lower, lower. As we're going higher and higher and higher, the MACD here is high. We had a little red. We have lower MACD. I don't know. This seems very bearish to me at this point, especially with that particular bar. And because I have so many long positions, I don't mind having a little balance and taking a short position. But that's, again, it rejected the third ATR channel. It's a V1 to the downside. It's a bearish engulfing to the downside. It lost the 70 RSI, so I am definitely considering that. And yeah, I think that's it. So what I have to narrow this down to today. Now remember, let me do a little check for myself. Alibaba is most likely coming off, so that will free up some space. Merck is a pharmaceutical company, so keep that. SPY overnight, fine, fine. Oil, that's fine. Gold, not correlated. Apple, I don't have. So yeah, I mean, I have room. Right, I definitely have room because Baba's going to come off. So I have index, pharmaceutical, oil, gold. Don't need Apple. So, do I have the possibility for an airline? Let's see, the close there at 34.12. Yeah, it's a higher low V1, no doubt about it. Weekly, under 50 RSI, did fail that higher low V2. It's not up a ton for the day though. You know, I mean the Dow Jones is up 450 points and it's up 0.5%. Goldman Sachs does make more sense. I think we even, let's see, the high over here, 207.51, the high over here. Yeah, so we even have a fractal on Goldman from this high here. Two lower highs to the left, two lower highs to the right. So we've created a fractal, 520 crossover, nice close back above the 200-day moving average over the 50 RSI. Weekly, weekly has that 200 right above it. You know, is it a good risk to reward ratio? You know, based upon using that 200 as the stop, I think it's pretty good. So that one gets an extra bonus point. Mickey D's, you know, it's okay. Let me take a look at PayPal intraday here. Yeah, so we have 6 minutes left. I'll tell you what, I'm going with Goldman Sachs long and I'm going with PayPal short. That's the deal. So I'm going to short PayPal here. And again, you know, to me, it's a completely legitimate setup. And also I have all these longs, you know, I like to have a little balance to the downside as well. Okay. So there's PayPal. And I'll just wait here till the end of the day for Goldman Sachs. And let me get rid of Alibaba. Okay. And so I am, what do we have? We have a minute and a half. So I am going to buy, I did short PayPal and I am going to buy Goldman Sachs. It's pretty clear. Doesn't mean it's going to be a profitable trade, but we have a fractal under 200, over 200, and the crossover, if it holds, it looks like it's going to. Well, PayPal's already in the money. That's good. About 30 seconds left. It looks like the 520 crossover is holding. All right, so I'm going to go ahead here, buy Goldman Sachs. Okay. All right, that's it. Man, what a day. Wow, what a day. So listen, if you have any additions, subtractions for me for the board, for your current positions, please let me know. If you have any questions, please let me know. Before I get to that, just want to quickly put in my end of day plug and just let everybody know that I do offer private one-on-one coaching and teaching lessons in the evening time via Skype. I love to teach. I've had really good success with my clients. I have a course. It's 5 sessions. Each session is 3 hours, so it's long form. It's very personalized. You can ask as many questions as you want. It's very interactive. I teach the lesson, then I basically have you teach the lesson back to me. We do all sorts of simulation, going through charts. Tell me what's going on here. What's the better chart? Where do we get in? Where do we get out? All that kind of stuff. So I've had a lot of clients. In my estimation, they've all been doing really well, at least the ones that I, stay in contact with and see. And I think it's a great course. It's $1,000, but I think it's worth every single penny. So, if you're interested, please send me an email, send me a message on Twitter. I'm at Gossett Trading on Twitter. And if you do contact me, I'll just see if you'd like to set up a Skype call. I'd like to get to know you a little bit better. I'd like to ask you some questions about your trading, your goals, your challenges. your experience. It's a good time for you to ask me questions about the course. It's not a sales call. I'm not going to ask you whether or not you want to take the course. I just want to talk to you, get to know each other, and then I'll say, listen, great speaking to you. If you're interested in the future, just send me an email and we'll get it set up. So, and then if you like today's podcast, I would really appreciate it if you could hit the thumbs up button. That would be great. It does help to build the channel. And there's a lot of people out there that need help trading. Really, there is. So, okay, there's my plugs. Let's go down, see if anybody has any questions. I do have a physical therapy appointment today, a little early one, so I'm going to have to try to make this quick. Let's see. Okay. Oh, I guess I better go over quickly where my entries were, right? Okay, so SPY at 317.05, Goldman Sachs at 207.23, and PayPal I shorted at 176.05. All right, so let's get mine on the board here. All right, so my new entry on SPY is at 317.05. Okay. Boom, that's done. Goldman Sachs. I got in at Goldman Sachs at 207.23. And I know Steve is in there as well. Okay, got Steve Burns there. And PayPal. That's not PayPal. Ah. All right. There's PayPal. And I shorted PayPal at 176.05. 176.05. And that's a short. We'll see what happens there. Okay. Oh, you bought Monster, did you, Steve? All right. Monster. Wow. Monster had a monster. Got you down for Monster, Steve. L and Google. All right. I'm guessing at the price here, Steve. Okay. Got Steve all taken care of. Okay, we got Steve out of Alibaba, as am I. What's going on here? Oh. Okay, so Kamal bought work. Why won't this let me? Yes, I want work. That's what I said. Okay. So Kamal bought work. Good luck to you on that one, Kamal. Okay. Wiener Dog, good afternoon. Hey, Karen, exited Baba. Okay, we're taking Karen off of Baba. And you're in Goldman Sachs. Okay, there's Karen. And Monster. Okay, got that taken care of. Bob is in Goldman Sachs. And Monster. David, Greg, the reason to sell Baba was rejection of the third ATR channel. I missed the explanation. It got very close to the 70 RSI and to the fourth ATR channel, and was such a huge move, and it just couldn't get above the 70. That's the reason. A little bit discretionary there, Quad, on why I took it. One, it was a monster move. Two, it was a monster gap. And three, it got stuck basically right at the 70 RSI. That's the reason. Quad says, I'm in GS and out of Baba. Gary's in GS. Steve Burns. Kamal says, Steve Burns, I see the crossover test on 520, but still maybe a day or two to get the crossover on fast. It does test well. Gary says, I also bought July 10th 175 puts on PayPal. All right, I'm just going to make a note of that. Gary M. bought July 10th 175 puts. All right, I'll go back later and clean that up. Gary says, if it goes down tomorrow, I'll take quick profit. Pinsky said, I exited Baba today. Okay. And it looks like Frank is still in Alibaba. All right. Wow, what a day. Unbelievable day today. Especially that Goldman Sachs fractal trade. That was unbelievable. And of course, Alibaba was a fantastic trade as well. Sometimes, you know, you just tread water, you go up a little bit, you go down a little bit, and then every once in a while, you get a big day like this. And listen, I think the video that I did on fractals, it's really quite interesting. There's a lot of science. So again, I did make that video, and it's on YouTube on my channel, but I'm going to put a link here in case you'd like to watch it. Gary's, okay, Pinsky's, I exit Baba. Frank, no, sold Baba. Okay, everybody's out of Baba? All right. Nice, everybody. I'm glad to see these trades up here, your trades up here on the board being in the positive. No weeds in the garden. That's what's important. So for me, Goldman Sachs, I did buy the 520 crossover over the 200 day and the trigger of the fractal. I'll get out with the close under the 200 day. That'll be my stop. Merck, it's doing fine, doing great. It's not up. It has not moved one ATR for my entry, so there is no trailing stop in place at this point. But if it does, then I will start to trail. SPY, of course, had the really nice SPY overnight SPY trade. Frank's in this on a different type of trade. So I'll be selling that again tomorrow. USOs like a slow boat to China because I'm trading it on the weekly bars. Take a long time, although, you know, Boeing, I had that almost 50% move on Boeing on the weekly bar too. So, but this one is positive so far, so good. Gold hit the profit target. It's doing nicely. And then PayPal is my short to the downside, so we'll see what happens. All right, what's happening after hours? Goldman's down a little bit. Merck's down a little bit. PayPal's up a little bit. SPY's up 26 cents. And oil's up a penny. All right, so take care of that. I took a half position on GS because it has a tendency not to like me. Yep, I got you. I got you. Yeah, we had that trade the other day on what was it? It was also financial, and that one whipsawed us as well. So hopefully that won't. So, all right, I'll put right here. Okay, so listen, everybody, I've got to get out of here. I've got to go to my physical therapy appointment. So if I don't get out of here, I'm going to be late. So listen, thank you all for coming. It's nice to see you every day. It looks like a bunch of us had a nice day. Please try to go out, do something nice for somebody today, just a smile or a wave or hello. Just try to do one nice little thing every day. If everybody did that, the world would be a better place. If you could hit the thumbs up button, I would really, really appreciate that before you check out of here. And have a good rest of your day, and study your charts. And if you can, try to watch that video on fractals. And let's see, I feel like I'm missing something else, but I think that's probably it. So anyway, okay, have a good rest of your day. Be good. Hit the thumbs up button, and hopefully I will see you tomorrow during the last hour of the trading day. Take care now. Bye-bye. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of